In this episode, we are focusing on step one in setting up your business, and that's harnessing the power of having an entrepreneurial mindset.
You an entrepreneur, I got what you need.
Hey there, my loves. Welcome back to CPTV. I'm CP, and you are in the place for aspiring and growing entrepreneurs who want to turn their passions and ideas into businesses and their businesses into freedom. If that sounds good to you like it does to me, then go ahead and subscribe, because this is where you want to be every single Tuesday, because I'm giving you the training on the step-by-step business processes and infrastructure that you can implement immediately into your life and into your business so that you can get to that level of entrepreneurial freedom that you dream about and that you really do deserve. So you heard me. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join me in the family, and click that bell so you don't miss any of it. And of course, if you like it, then show me, but only if you do. Smash that like button and tell me exactly what you think in the comments below. I love interacting with you, and I answer questions for days. So we are in episode 2, y'all, in this Set Up Your Business series. So if you missed episode 1, make sure that you check it out, and I'll go ahead and link to it right here because you're going to want to definitely start there. But in this episode, we are focusing on step 1 in setting up your business, and that's harnessing the power of having an entrepreneurial mindset. Yes, my love, mindset is critical. It is also step number 1. Trust me, I've skipped this step before, and inevitably I was treading water and my business was sinking fast. I didn't really take the time to understand what I needed to do with my headspace in order to really begin my entrepreneurial journey, in order to really succeed in that entrepreneurial journey. What they say is very, very true. The mind is a powerful, powerful thing. And if you don't take the time as you embark upon setting up your business to get your mind in the right place, you will be setting yourself up for failure before you even really get things going. So today, let's get your mind right. And I'm going to give you 4 steps to really get that done. So let's get to work. Okay, let me break down these 4 steps for you. All right. First, you have to understand the commitment and the sacrifice of entrepreneurship. Then you need to gain clarity around your business model and that business idea. Then you have to become really good at managing your time. And finally, you need to find your UIP, or your unique impact proposition. So let's first discuss understanding the commitment and the sacrifice. This was a big one for me. I didn't have anyone telling me exactly what it was going to take to be an entrepreneur. The stress, the pressure, the mind games that it would play with me, not to mention the relationships in my life that it was going to affect. I didn't really know what I was up against in the beginning, and that is why I am sharing it with you. Entrepreneurship is 100% a marathon. It is not a sprint. Your mind will always be going, and you have to learn the art of focusing on one thing at one time and avoiding shiny object syndrome. One thing about entrepreneurs is that our minds are always going. We're always coming up with new grand ideas, and we always want to dive into them. And ultimately, if you don't understand commitment, not just commitment to running and starting a business, but commitment to one idea and one focus, you will ultimately continue to run around in circles. You also have to know that there will be tons of sacrifice. You will sacrifice financially. You will sacrifice your time. You will sacrifice your sanity sometimes, but it is really, really worth it. It is very, very different from working for someone else, right? When you work for someone else, you have a job to do. You go to that job, you do that job. They tell you exactly what they want done, exactly how to get it done, and exactly what you need in order to get it done. They also give you all the stuff that you need in order to get it done. You know, most jobs, well, some jobs, I should say. When you become an entrepreneur, All that stuff that you were used to getting automatically at previous 9 to 5 experiences, you now have to come up with for yourself. And you also have to recognize that it's going to take you time to start showing a profit, which means it's going to take you time to start paying yourself. So you are going to be sacrificing financially, and you have to be prepared for that. You're also going to have less time. So your relationships are going to be affected. Whether you are a mom, how much time will you be able to really spend with your kids, or how will you navigate around their schedules? If you are in a relationship and you're married, will your spouse really get and understand where you're coming from, why you're working so hard, and what you're really doing? If you have parents or siblings or best friends that are looking at you saying, girl, give this up, get a real job, because that's the number one phrase that we hear, right? As entrepreneurs, somebody finally one day after maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks say, you need to go get a real job. And it makes you want to punch them in the face. Exactly. That's a great point, right? Punch them in the face. You have to be able to block all of that out, find your peace, and understand that those are some of the sacrifices that you will make. But trust me, I went through that same experience, and I had folks in my life telling me that I should give it up. And later on, they began to reap the rewards financially for all of the work and all of the lifestyle changes that we were able to experience because of that tenacity. So really being committed to a long-term journey is critical, and understanding and communicating the sacrifices that will go into that, especially in the beginning, is so critical to getting your mind set together. So I need you to focus on understanding what all of those sacrifices may look like. I need you to understand what other people in your position or pursuing similar types of businesses have experienced. I need you to really have an idea of how long it takes to develop whatever your business structure is, or whatever the business that you've chosen is. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And getting that commitment and sacrifice piece of your mind together is so important, and that will really hold you through so that you can stay the course and get to that level of freedom that you dream about. Now it's time to gain clarity around your business model and idea. Clarity can be so hard to come by, and it's not a commodity, right? It's rare that someone suddenly decides to start a business without having an idea about what they may want to do. But that doesn't mean that you have the confidence that comes from being crystal clear on that business idea and knowing that it's the right business idea, right? So let me help you a bit. Bottom line, you know you are on the right idea track when the idea is in line with your why, your long-term vision for your life, what you are really good at, and what you find easy to do. It also needs to mesh with your expertise and your interests. So let me go a little deeper. Your why. Your why is how you walk in your purpose in life. And growing a business requires a lot of commitment and a lot of wiping of some tears. If you are not working in that purpose, you will feel a void, and it will be very difficult to stay focused on the end goal and the end game. It will be so hard for you to see the forest for the trees if you aren't really truly knowing what drives you as an individual, what fuels you to get up in the morning and go, and what keeps you up late at night getting work done. So your why is absolutely important in gaining clarity. You want to build a business that helps you walk in that purpose, that helps you live in that why, and that helps you smile even when things aren't going the greatest. I know that my why is helping and wanting to help people be successful and grow into their own success. And I've chosen to do that by focusing on entrepreneurship, because that's a whole nother piece of my why. So even when someone cancels a contract or doesn't show up for an appointment, or I'm working 16-hour days trying to create a new product, I can still sit back and smile because I said, I feel good about what I was able to accomplish today. That accomplishment today helped me feel like I'm getting closer to what I am on this earth to do. And without knowing my why, I can't focus my business around that. So I've developed my businesses over the years surrounding what makes me feel good to do, whether I am doing it for free or for hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And that's why knowing your why is so important. Now, your long-term vision. You've got to gain clarity around what that vision is. Where do you see yourself in life later on? What kind of lifestyle do you want to lead? Do you want to travel all over the world? Do you want to be able to run your business from any place? Do you want to be able to jump up on a moment's notice and go? Then you got to make sure you're choosing a business model that allows you to do that. I have learned that lesson and actually sold that business. I started a brick and mortar insurance agency years ago. And after doing that for 10 years very successfully, I realized that business model did not serve my lifestyle purpose. I could not see a light at the end of my tunnel. I knew that eventually, once my youngest baby was gone off to college, that I was going to need and want to be able to get up and go. But the business that I had set up, the business model that I had set up, did not allow for me to do that. I had to be present all the time, locally, in the office, working my butt off. And I realized, this ain't meeting my lifestyle, y'all. This is not where I want to go. And that was when I decided you have to devise a plan and transition this business into something that ultimately gets you to your end game. Now, trust me, 20 years ago, when I started my first business, my end game was a little different than it is now as I get closer to retirement goals, right? But even as it changes, you got to make sure that you're able to go with the flow and that you're able to keep your business fluid so that you can continue to meet that lifestyle goal. So that's what I mean when I say, does it meet your lifestyle? And be aware of where you want your lifestyle to go, because that mindset piece, as you're figuring out exactly what that business idea and that business is going to look like, you want to make sure that you choose a model that gets you to the light at the end of that tunnel. Because if you don't, there won't be a light shining to guide you to it. And you will be stuck in the darkness every single day trying to figure out how to get the hell out. You also have to know what you are really good at. Don't pick a business idea around something that you don't know how to do. What do you find easy to do? Don't pick a business idea around something that's going to require blood, sweat, and tears and crazy in order for you to get it done. And what are your levels of interest? What do you feel passionate about? Sometimes people focus on developing businesses based purely on what they're passionate about, even if they aren't good at it and even if they can't do it, right? You need to have all three when you are getting your mind right around this. So when you're thinking about the business idea that you have in your head right now, that you think 100% that you got to plow through and move full forward, ask yourself those questions, right? Am I good at this? Can I do it easily? And do I have the skills and the ability and the passion and the interest to pursue this? And all of those questions are important because, as I've already mentioned, starting a business and being an entrepreneur is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if you can't answer yes to all three of those questions, I encourage you to start over and figure out a business that you can answer yes to those questions about. And I need you to make sure that you've got some level of expertise in your idea. Don't pick something that you've got to learn from scratch. It's going to take you forever. You're not going to do it great. And therefore, people are not going to ultimately buy it from you. So make sure that you can do what you want to do, that you have some level of expertise, that you have some level of experience, even if it's a hobby and it's not your full-time gig. It's not what you got your degree in. It's not what you went to graduate school for. It's not what you went to school for. It's okay. If you are an expert in that hobby and you say, I'm passionate about this, I can pursue this, I'm interested in this, I can do this easily, then that might be the business idea of your dreams and give you the clarity that you need to get your mind completely wrapped around what you should be moving forward with in this entrepreneurial journey that you have decided to pursue. Now, let's talk about time management. This is my jam. I've done a million trainings and boot camps on the topic. As a matter of fact, most of my one-on-one coaching clients automatically go through my time management bootcamp first because it is a challenge for everyone, including me. But I cannot stress enough. If you don't learn the skills of time management, being an entrepreneur will be the hardest thing you have ever done in your entire life. And I've given birth quite a few times. And your business will never reach its full potential. Trust me, you will make more stress for yourself than money, honey. So check out my more in-depth trainings on time management. I'll go ahead and link to them here. There's a ton of them. But this is a huge piece of the mindset shift that you need to harness your power as a successful entrepreneur. You are going to juggle a million things when you're just starting, when you're deciding to delegate and grow, and you have to have the ability to prioritize what needs to get done, to actually avoid procrastination and produce what needs to get done, to organize what needs to get done, because your business life and your personal life will always intersect, and you have to have the ability to understand how to be efficient. There's only 24 hours in the day, and the number one excuse that I hear from people who aren't successful at their businesses or who aren't successful at actually getting them started or kind of stuck and stagnant is, I just don't have time. I can't figure out how to get the time. Well, there are tons of people out there running multi-billion-dollar businesses. They have the exact same number of hours, days, and months as you do, and they figured it out. Why can't you? Obviously, it's something that you can learn. So getting your mindset together means tackling all of your time management demons and weaknesses, getting them fixed, and moving forward day by day, implementing what you need to implement in order to move forward as an entrepreneur. It is a skill that is number one for your future success. And in order for you to see the multi-six-figure and seven-figure mark, time management has got to be your jam too. And step number 4, you need to find your UIP. Your unique impact proposition. That's a CP term, by the way. Thank you. Thank you very much, y'all. I didn't need all that. But what is it that I'm talking about? Well, your unique impact proposition is what makes you, your product, your service, and your business unique in the market. One of the number one things I hear from people who want to start a business, and whether they're students or coaches or just people that I know, is I need to come up with a business idea that no one else has done. Everyone wants to be a first timer and an inventor. And I always say, no, you don't. Hold your horses, boo. You do not want to pick a business idea that no one else has done, that there is no competition for. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, you are not so brilliant that you have finally come up with in 2021 something that somebody else has never thought of. Think about that. Most likely, your idea has been thought of already. That's the reality of where we live. We're not back in the day where electricity hasn't been invented and refrigerators haven't been made and traffic lights are still being figured out. We are in 2021. There's millions of more brilliant people than you out there. And trust me, they've thought about it. If you come up with a business idea that you can't find any record of anybody doing, that probably means that somebody else thought about it. They tried it and didn't nobody want to buy it. They couldn't make no money from it. So you want to choose a business that other people are already doing. But inside of that business, you also want to find out what your unique impact proposition is. What makes you different? What are the weaknesses of those competitors that you can capitalize off of? What can you do or you provide, or what pain point can you solve for people that no one else is out there doing it, even if they offer the exact same product and the exact same service as you? So taking the time in your mindset, rightification, is that a word? I think I just made that up, y'all. Yeah, no, I like to make up words. But anyway, in your mindset ratification, you want to make sure that you know exactly what your unique impact proposition is. You want to be able to say it. You want to be able to create a statement around it, because when people ask you what you do, that's what you tell them. You don't say, I sell skirts and shoes on an online store. You say, I help curvy women feel beautiful and sexy, even if they aren't a size 2. You hear what I'm saying? You see the difference there? Knowing your impact, your unique impact proposition or your UIP is the only way that you'll be able to make those statements. And that is 100% going to give you the confidence that you need to avoid imposter syndrome, to avoid doubting yourself, and to be able to plow forward knowing that you do have a blue ocean in the large ocean out there of all those whales and competitors. And you can kind of slide in and meet the needs of a very specific market regardless of everyone else. And you'll be able to price your products and services appropriately. Because when you bring something new and out of the box to the table for other people, even if it's the exact same product or service, remember I said you want competition, but when you can bring something unique to the table, people will pay for it. You ain't got to dumb it down, make it cheap or anything else. People will give you the money that you deserve to provide what you love to do. Whew. So let me ask you, are you ready? Ready to harness the power of step 1 in setting up your business? If so, put hell yeah in the comments below, because today I gave you the 4 steps that will get you ready to do just that. And get your mind all the way right, boo. Don't forget, this is just step number 1. And we are going to go deep into all of these steps in this series. So check out all the detailed videos and links that I've already mentioned below in the description box, in the comments. And if you like this, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell so that you will actually be notified when I talk about step number 2 next week. So until next time, my loves, stay safe. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.